How to be a villain.
Chu Zhu said, I guessed correctly. The North Suppression King was threatened and controlled by the heavenly slaves, becoming their undercover agent. However, I already infused a wisp of my divine sense into his divine altar. Tu Shan Qianyu said, You mean, the North Suppression King is now a double agent? She thought to herself, that old fox Chu Xiu, he really is insidious. Chu Zhu said, not only that, but to prevent the North Suppression King from acting poorly and blowing his cover, I deliberately erased his memory. Tu Shan Qianyu said, this way, even he does not know he is actually our spy. That is genius, truly brilliant. The heavenly slaves probably would not see that coming even if they were beaten to death. I have a question. What if one of us is captured by the heavenly slaves and controlled like the North Suppression King was? Wouldn't today's entire plan go up in smoke? Chu Xiu said, Xian Mian, you old fox, you really are sharp. That is why I specifically prepared the 3-corpse soul pill. After taking this pill, its poison will hide within the soul. If someone tries to forcibly search your soul, the poison will detonate. In less than half a breath, the user's soul will collapse. Not even a quasi-emperor could save them. Naturally, the heavenly slaves will not be able to control them either. I have made everything clear. Now come line up and get your pills. Tu Shan Qianyu thought to herself, that old fox Chu Xiu, he is downright ruthless. As he handed over the pills to the demons, Tianjin and Qimeng also took theirs. Tu Shan Qianyu then shouted at Qimengdi and pointed at her, Why do you not have to take one? Chu Xiu said, If you do not want to take it, you do not have to. But if that is the case, Archaic God Island will not be able to trust you. And if we cannot trust someone, it is better to just eliminate them. Tu Shan Qianyu was shocked but took a pill. Tu Shan Qianyu said, Afterwards, you must give us the antidote. Chu Zhu raised his hand and said, I, Chu Zhu, swear by the heavenly Tao. Once the plan succeeds, I will surely bring out the antidote and detoxify everyone. Otherwise, may heavenly tribulation strike me down and destroy my body and soul. A few moments later, the forest was quiet. Zhou Long silently meditated. He opened his eyes in shock and said to himself, What is going on with me? Wasn't I going to the Divine Lake? Never mind, I should first carry out the taskmaster assigned to me. As he entered, he saw a Slayer Maiden hovering. Slayer Maiden grinned and said, Divine Lake Restricted Zone. Trespassers will be killed. Zhou Long said, Fellow Taoist, I am Zhou Long. I heard that cultivators from the Firmament Continent are here. I've come to join them. Please notify them for me. Slayer Maiden pointed in a direction. A few moments later, Tianjin said to Zhou Long, North Suppression King, you're okay. That's such a relief. Zhou Long said, Right, peak Lord Yongxia. Who are those individuals with great saint-level power all around us? Qimengdi said, Those are battle puppets. Zhou Long said, Battle puppets? Then why are you here? Qimengdi sighed and said, Sigh. We were being hunted by black monsters back then. Luckily, the master of this place saved us. Otherwise, you wouldn't be seeing us now. Zhou Long said, The master of this place? He thought to himself, This is critical intel. Qimengdi said, According to the servant, his name is Archaic God, and he's the master of Archaic God Island. He's the one who ordered the puppets to save us. Zhou Long said, Archaic God. Could he be that Archaic God? The one said to be one of the 5 innate deities born at the creation of the primordial star. Qimengdi said, I don't know whether he is that Archaic God or not. In any case, he is unbelievably mysterious. We haven't seen his true form. Zhou Long said, I wonder if there will be a chance to meet the master of this place. Lord of 1,000 Faces Tu Shan Qianyu turned into a man and said, Heh. He thought to himself, It's been so long since I returned to my male form. Still a bit hard to adjust. Zhou Long thought to himself, Qianmian once disguised himself as me, and even slept with my wife. No, I mustn't act indifferent, or I'll give myself away. Zhou Long said to Qimengdi, Peak Lord Yongxia, thank you for clearing my doubts. Now that I've fully recovered, it's time to settle some old scores. Qimengdi thought to herself, that damn disciple predicted it again. Zhou Long charged at Lord of 1,000 Faces Tu Shan Qianyu and shouted, Qianmian Zhenjun, prepare to die. Tu Shan Qianyu said, Come at me then. He thought to himself, that old fox Chu wasn't lying. This guy really came to pick a fight. As Lord of 1,000 Faces, Tu Shan Qianyu blocked Zhou Long's spear with his fan. A demon said in confusion, What's going on? Why is the North Suppression King going after Qianmian Zhenjun? A man said, You didn't know. Back then, Qianmian Zhenjun captured the North Suppression King, then transformed into him and, with the queen, cough cough. Zhou Long said, Xianmianjinjun, you once shamed my wife and child. For the sake of the bigger picture, I let it go. But today, I, Zhou Long, will take your dog life. Lord of 1,000 Faces Tu Shanqianyu fended him away, saying, Zhou Long, you're no match for me. Don't forget the pain just because the wound healed. This is the divine lake, the domain of His Majesty Archaic God. I don't want to quarrel with you here and risk offending that senior. Zhou Long thought to himself, could it be that Archaic God really isn't dead? No, I must seize this chance to test it. Lord of 1,000 Faces Tu Shanqianyu said, gotta admit, the North Suppression King's queen had quite the figure. So soft, seductive, and moist, truly unforgettable. Zhou Long got angry and shouted, you're courting death. He grabbed Lord of 1,000 Faces Tu Shanqianyu's shirt. Suddenly, a massive explosion erupted beside them. Tu Shanqianyu shouted, Senior Archaic God, save me. Someone's trying to kill me in your domain. He thought to himself, is there really a quasi-emperor here? Qi Mengdi thought to herself, this is a quasi-emperor's aura? How did that damn disciple create such overwhelming pressure? A voice shouted, who dares to cause trouble in my divine lake? Lord of 1,000 Faces Tu Shanqianyu knelt down and bowed his head low, saying, Senior arrogant deity. Zhou Long, confused, said, arrogant deity? There's truly an arrogant deity here? He added, please forgive me, senior arrogant deity. I have a grudge against this person. I acted impulsively and disturbed a sage. Tianjin said, is this pressure the work of the Taisu Holy Sun? How did he manage this? Qi Meng said, if I didn't already know the plan, I would have absolutely believed this to be the aura of a quasi-emperor. The voice said, just this once. If it happens again, I will show no mercy. A man shouted, so, the arrogant deity really exists. His friend said, we're saved now. As long as His Majesty the arrogant deity is here, those pitch-black monsters surely won't dare come near. Tianjin said, yes, with a quasi-emperor protecting us, we truly have nothing to fear. Zhou Long thought to himself, there's a quasi-emperor on Arrogant Deity Island. This explosive news must be delivered to the master at once. Qi Mengdi thought to herself, that treacherous disciple's tricks are becoming more and more refined. In the forest, a person sat at a distance. Chu Shu thought to himself, who would have thought the jade talisman Aunt Luo gave me could be used this way? Mao Xiaoqi rested on his lap. Suddenly, she woke up and said, Mao. Chu Shu said, Tian Nu is cunning and naturally suspicious. Upon hearing that the arrogant deity is still alive, he'll surely be full of hesitation. If he doesn't find a way to confirm whether the arrogant deity really exists, he probably won't sleep peacefully. With this, I'll have some breathing room to search for the Tao source, and I can also prepare for the next phase of the plan. As he pets Miao Xiaoqi, she said, Meow meow, but now's not the time to be proud, Meow. A freak like Tian Nu, who's lived for who knows how many years, isn't so easily manipulated. Later that night, Chu Shu sat alone while Qi Mengdi approached him. Qi Mengdi brought tea and said, how's it going? Chu Shu said, Tian Nu has ordered his weapon soldiers to accelerate the collection of life essence. Qi Mengdi said, oh. Chu Shu said, that means our first step, the intimidation plan, has succeeded. Tian Nu is panicking. This Saint Snow tea treasured by the dragon god truly has a remarkable taste. He took a sip and put down the cup. He then held Qi Mengdi close and said, Master, please stay here on Arrogant Deity Island. Don't go anywhere else. Qi Mengdi said, let me go. Chu Shu said, Arrogant Deity Island holds many secret tomes and the cultivation insights of predecessors. You can train in peace here. Qi Mengdi said, all right. Be careful. Don't act recklessly. Whatever you do, don't die here. Chu Shu said, are you cursing the child's father? Qi Mengdi looked away and said, don't talk nonsense. Chu Shu said, who's talking nonsense? As he held her delicate chin. Qi Mengdi said, you treacherous disciple, let me go. Chu Shu lay her down and said, Master, it's been so long since you passed down teachings to your disciple. Qi Mengdi said, you treacherous brat, what are you trying to do? This is outdoors. Have you no shame? Chu Shu said, Master, we'll be separated again soon. Shouldn't we make the most of our time to pass down teachings? As she felt something small between her thighs, she moaned, Mph. Chu Shu stopped and said, oh, right. Qi Mengdi said, what is it? Chu Shu said, this won't affect the child, will it? As Qi Mengdi stared at Chu Shu, he continued, as the saying goes, spare the rod, spoil the child. There shouldn't be a problem, right? Qi Mengdi said, Pah, you treacherous disciple, what kind of nonsense is that? Can't you be a little more proper? There really shouldn't be any issues. Chu Shu carried Qi Mengdi and said, that's good then. Chi Mengdi said, slow down. As Chu Xiu walked back to the door, night came. The next day, Chi Mengdi looked outside and said to herself, that treacherous disciple again. Treacherous one, you must return safely. She touched her belly. In a different scene, Lord of 1,000 Faces Tushan Qianyu shouted, what? Chu Xiu wants me to transform into one of Tiannu's weapons and secretly scout out Tiannu's lair? No way, no way. It's so dangerous out there right now. You guys just want me to die in disguise. Chi Mengdi said, it's not just you. Everyone else has their own missions too. We need to not only find Tiannu's lair, but also locate other outsiders and unite all forces against him. What, you're unwilling? Lord of 1,000 Faces Tushan Qianyu sweated silently, while Chi Mengdi and Sword Maiden waited. Sword Maiden silently looked at Lord of 1,000 Faces Tushan Qianyu. Lord of 1,000 Faces Tushan Qianyu thought to himself, these days the human race is dominant, while we of the demon and barbarian clans must live under their roof. If we can't defeat them, then we can only follow their arrangements. Lord of 1,000 Faces Tushan Qianyu said, fine, I'll agree to it. Chi Mengdi said, right. As Sword Maiden and Chi Mengdi walked out, Lord of 1,000 Faces Tushan Qianyu flipped his finger in frustration and said, so what if he's Chu Laoliu's master? Big deal. And 3 days later, Chu Xiu silently hovered. He said, finally, I've arrived. Suddenly he was shocked as lightning and thunder rampaged across the sky. Chu Xiu stood in front of a mountain. According to the markings by Tian Yunzi, this is a land of dragon veins, rich in heaven and earth energy. It's one of the rare blessed lands on the ancient star of Taiji. But how did it end up like this? Can the Tao source really be found here? I'll check it out first. Either way, even heavenly tribulations don't scare me. This little thunder can't harm me. A voice then said, this land belongs to my clan. Outsider, you'd best not trespass. Chu Xiu saw a lady with a sexy figure and wings, holding a spear above him. It was Lei Xin, member of the Thunder God clan. Chu Xiu said to himself, I didn't even sense her presence beforehand? No, it must be that this woman had merged with the thunder earlier. Judging by her aura, she's at least at the 6th level of the Great Saint realm. Chu Xiu said, you're from the Thunder God clan? Lei Xin said, that's right. Outsider, this is a forbidden area. Cultivation is hard-earned. Don't seek your own destruction. Leave at once. Otherwise, I won't show mercy. Chu Xiu said to himself, so this place has actually been taken over by the Thunder God clan. The Thunder God clan, descendants of the Thunder God, one of the 5 innate deities of the ancient star of Taiji. According to ancient records on the Tiantian continent, this clan is especially brave and skilled in battle. When bathed in thunder, their combat strength can increase by 50%, even double. Greetings, fellow cultivator. I'm Chu Xiu, the new master of Arrogant Deity Island. Lei Xin said, judging by your aura, you're only at the divine power realm. And you claim to be the master of Arrogant Deity Island? You think I'm stupid? Chu Xiu showed Lei Xin the deity token. Lei Xin was shocked and said, the Arrogant Deity token? You really are the new master of Arrogant Deity Island. Chu Xiu said, genuine, no doubt about it. Lei Xin said, in that case, please come with me. She opened a void. Chu Xiu said to himself, one must always be cautious with strangers. A door suddenly appeared. Lei Xin said, my name is Lei Xin. I'm taking you to see my grandfather. My grandfather is the current clan leader of the Thunder God clan. Chu Xiu said, all right. Chu Xiu thought to himself, so this place became like this. Because of the Thunder God clan? Why would they do this? Could it be they're after the Tao source too? If the Tao source is in the hands of the Thunder God clan, how am I going to take it from them? As Lei Xin touched the door, it opened as she led the way, and Chu Xiu followed. Inside, Chu Xiu was shocked and said, to think such a place exists on the ancient star Taiji. Lei Xin said, surprised? Chu Xiu said, yeah. Lei Xin said, this space was formed from His Majesty the Thunder God's small world. It's been passed down generation after generation to the clan leader of the Thunder God clan. Follow me. A few moments later, Lei Xin said, we're here. She opened the door and said, Grandpa. Lei Yuan, clan leader of the Thunder God clan, said, Shinner? Why did you bring an outsider in? Lei Xin said, Grandpa, his name is Chu Xiu. He holds the Arrogant Deity token. Lei Yuan stood up in shock and said, Shinner, what did you just say? Lei Xin said, he holds the Arrogant Deity token. He is the new master of Arrogant Deity Island. Chu Xiu said, why are you all so panicked? Don't tell me you are planning to kill me and silence me. I suggest you chill. As Lei Xin and Lei Yuan mumbled in the distance and chuckled, Lei Yuan said, ahem, little friend, please have a seat. Let's talk calmly. Thank you so much for watching. That's all for now. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up and consider subscribing to help me grow my channel. Your support means the world to me. Don't forget to leave a comment below. I love hearing from you. Let's keep the conversation going and get those analytics buzzing. Until next time, take care.